The following presentation is brought to you by the Realm Network.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Anything But Freakin Rasslin. And Jeff Lane will be joining me in a second. But before we get to the show, again, I want to thank our sponsor, kayfabecommentaries.com, the best shoot DVDs on the market. There are 3 different series with kayfabecommentaries.com. There's the guest bookers, where people like Jerry Jarrett, Kevin Sullivan, Gabe Sapolsky, Jim Cornette, Bruce Pritchard, Dutch Mantell, and myself have booked other angles that didn't fall under our umbrellas. In other words, I booked the WCW invasion as it worked out in the WWE. There's also the Timeline series, where they get people such as Bruno Sammartino, Kevin Nash, Roddy Piper. I know they had Magnum TA recently, where they talk about significant years, whether it be the WWE or WCW, but they go through the complete year. I know 1995, they did Kevin Nash. 1992, they did Bret Hart. Another fascinating series, as you can really zero in on every year in professional wrestling. And last but not least, the U-Shoot, which is the best shoot interview on the market. In my opinion, Sean Oliver is far and away the best interviewer. He's interviewed me about 3 or 4 times, and he's interviewed everybody who's anybody. And as I said, check out the library on kayfabecommentaries.com. Jeff, how you doing today?
Doing good, man.
Good. Let's also tell people up front for the rest of this month, November and December, $3.95 a month membership. That's for life, or as long as you would like to take advantage of it. It's less than $1 a week. It's going to go through the end of the year. You just have to go to vincerussobrand.com and use the code word brand. But as I said, I mean, I think, that 99 cents a week, whatever it is, for video podcasting every single day. What's going on, Jeff?
Not much. This is a good month to get into if you haven't yet, because you'll get the China interview. You'll get the Joel Gertner part 2. And I'm not sure if you announced what's coming up next, so I don't want to say anything, but it's a good month to get in on this stuff.
Yeah, we got the Headbangers coming up next. I did another interview with Ed Ferrara. I hadn't spoken to Ed, over a year. I got a great interview with Mr. Anderson. As a matter of fact, I get in very deeply with Mr. Anderson about a topic that I want to touch on this morning, and I might as well start it off. Bro, I don't know if you watched ESPN today, but there was a great discussion going on with Mark Schlereth and Mike and Mike about concussions in football, and what drove this discussion was one of the cornerbacks of the Philadelphia Eagles, Malcolm Jenkins, just came out and basically said he played the second half of the game on Sunday full bore concussion. He knew he had a concussion. He was out of it, and he played the rest of the game anyway. And it led to a discussion with, especially Schlereth, who played for the Broncos for so many years. And I know I'm butchering the name, so I'm just going to call him Stink. But he pointed out that he started, I think, 170 straight games or something insane like that. He said literally in every single one of those games, he had an episode where he blacked out, got his bell rung, didn't tell anybody, but continued playing. And then he went on to basically say he called it the 80-20. And he basically said 20% of the players in the NFL make 80% of the money. He goes, the rest of us are independent contractors. We're playing every game like it's our last game. We have no guaranteed contracts. There's no way in hell an NFL player is going to admit to, having a concussion and telling the coach or telling the trainers and being pulled from a game when he feels that his livelihood is depending on it, and he's basically playing game to game to game. Bro, it's the exact scenario. The exact same scenario that happens in professional wrestling. 20% of the guys make 80% of the money. They're independent contractors. When they get a concussion, when they get hurt, they never tell anybody, afraid of losing their spot. So I was amazed to hear this discussion, because it could have been the same exact discussion if we were talking about professional wrestling.
So that was this week that Jenkins played with a concussion?
This past Sunday, yes.
That's surprising, because they got all that new concussion protocol where they have to go through the tests and they have to be cleared by not the team doctors but the NFL representatives or whatever. I'm surprised.
He didn't tell anybody.
Like they didn't even know he got hurt, you mean?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
He did not tell anybody, bro. He knew he was messed up. He knew he was out of it. You know, he said the game slowed down. He knew something was wrong, but he did not tell anybody. So he continued to play the second half of the game.
I didn't see this at all, man. That's interesting. Did he explain why, A, he continued, and B, why he's saying it now?
Well, not really. But I mean, you know, like I said, Schlereth explained it for him. You know, that, you know, again, you know, no guaranteed contracts, independent contractors, no way in hell, you know, you're going to tell the coach you're hurt and then come out of the game and be replaced when your entire career can be depending on it. And then another interesting, you know, conversation came up where Greenberg said, listen, this is the NFL we're talking about. Any high school student out there, any high school football player that suffers a concussion, you know, you have to tell your coach. You've got to let your coach know. And then, you know, Woodson came on. I forget his first name. He used to be another, you know, great defensive back.
Darren Woodson? Rod Woodson?
Yeah, Rod Woodson, yeah. And he basically said, wait a minute. If you're a high school football player and you're concussed, that may affect a college recruiting you, because a college recruiter, a college coach is going to look at your records and see how many times you've been concussed, and that's going to work against you. The same with going from college to the NFL. An NFL recruiter, the recruiter is going to look at your collegiate record. How many concussions did this guy suffer? Do we want to go anywhere near him? Bro, this is a huge problem, because listen, I'll be the first to say, bro, when we started realizing it was a problem in professional wrestling, we took out the chair shots. We said no more. You know, trainers are on the scene. We did everything we could to correct the problem. But one thing I've stated here over and over again is a lot of times the wrestlers won't tell you. You don't know. Bro, I had Bill DeMott on the show where he told me he literally was losing sight during matches because of concussions that he never told anybody about. So this is like just it's an epidemic. You know, and you know, basically, you know, Ben Greenberg turned around and said, okay, so let's look at the other side of the coin. The NFL changes its policy. You know, guys become contracted players. Guys get guaranteed money. Well, then how many games are they going to miss because they've got an ingrown toenail? You see what I'm saying, bro? So it's like I understand both sides of the of the argument, but at the end of the day, you know, guys can really wind up getting hurt and having it affect the entire rest of their lives, let alone careers.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, you know, in wrestling, these guys can get concussions just from taking a bump if their head hits the mat, you know, if they don't, you know, tuck their chin right or whatever. I mean, you can get concussions on anything if your head just hit a certain way in the head. And even with these helmets in football, you see some of these things, like these guys will, they're going down and they take a knee to the head, and you see their head jiggle and bounce. Or, I know that's why they got a lot of the defenseless receiver rules now over the middle, but you wonder, especially like the old days, and that's why I'm really interested in seeing this Will Smith movie, is how many people's lives were ruined because of exactly what you said. They were afraid to lose their job, afraid to lose their spot, never reported them, and suffered so many concussions throughout their career and just totally messed up their brain.
Yeah, Jeff, it happened to me. I didn't tuck my chin. I got a concussion. I knew I had a concussion. The next day, I woke up with absolute vertigo. I was in the basement, sleeping. I had to crawl up the stairs. I had to hold on to the rail and crawl up the stairs. And I'll never forget it. I went to work that day because the TV was in Atlanta. So I drove to it. I couldn't drive. I had to have Bill Banks drive me. But I can remember, bro, it was the episode where there were a bunch of elderly people and we were celebrating Ric Flair's birthday. I remember it. Bro, I was in the ring like absolutely out of it. And my whole thing was, bro, I wasn't going to show the boys that I was hurt. Then all of a sudden, Vince Russo's a wuss, and Vince Russo's this, and Vince Russo can't do what we do, and yada, yada, yada. So I didn't want to let anybody know that I was hurt, so I kept my mouth shut about it. But, bro, I kept going out there because I didn't want nobody to know. I kept getting hit in the head. It kept getting worse and worse and worse. And I tell you, bro, there are after effects, even today. And, man, it's I don't know what you do about this problem. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, there's a lot of concussion lawsuits being leveled at the WWE right now. And I got a phone call from somebody this week. I'm not going to say who it is, but they started asking me a lot of questions. And I told them flat out, I said, listen, I'm going to tell you the absolute truth. I said, never in my 15 years, whether it was WWE, TNA, WCW, never did we put anybody in the ring knowing they had a concussion. Never did somebody come up to us and say, listen, I'm not feeling right. My head, I got my bell rang, blah, blah, blah. And we said, well, you're working tonight. I said, that never happened. I said, the problem is guys get concussed and they don't tell you about it. They don't say anything about it, and they continue to work for all the reasons that Schlereth talked about today. They're independent contractors. They're going game to game. They're not making a lot of money. There's a million reasons why they do it. But, to point the finger at the WWE when a guy's working because he's concussed and nobody knows about it, the fault's not on them. I was in that position many, many, many times where, like, I had a feeling a guy was messed up, and they would look me right in the eye. DeMott did it. They would look me, no, I'm absolutely fine. There's no problems. There's no issues. Back then, though, bro, I will say this. It's a little different today because back then we couldn't immediately send them to somebody for a test. This is before, there were trainers on hand, and all the precautions that were being taken today. This is before that. So, now I guess if there's a question as if somebody's concussed or not, there's a doctor on the scene. You can send them for a test that day. There's a lot more protocol today than there was back then. But, never did I ever see Vince McMahon, make anybody hurt. I mean, never. It doesn't work that way. But, again, the other side of the coin, you guarantee these guys contracts, you guarantee them money. Well, how much time are they going to miss for injuries where they probably could have played or performed?
That's interesting, man. Like, especially, like, the game is so much faster now. NFL, even pro wrestling, it's just so much faster. And the amount of speed and the force put on the head, man, I don't know. But I wonder, like you said about, like whoever you said about the ingrown toenail and missing this stuff. I mean, surely you would think they could make like something in the contract, like if the doctor has the final say or whatever, if you should play or not. I mean, I don't know how all that works, but
yeah. But again, bro, this leads into, and I'm not going to get into a whole discussion again because, quite frankly, I'm sick and tired of talking about it, and I'm getting to the point of not caring about it. This gets right into the argument of, today's style of professional wrestling. There's a lot more risk, unnecessary risk being taken. More guys are getting hurt. And quite frankly, there's no need to it. There's no need for it whatsoever. You go down, bro, go back to WrestleMania 1 for argument's sake. Watch how the guys work. It's very controlled. They're telling a story. Nobody's body is ever out of control for, even 1 second of the match. And I can't wait. There's going to be a study soon, bro. There's going to be a study soon. It's going to come out. Somebody's going to do it, of how many injuries there are in a given year in professional wrestling nowadays compared to even 10 years ago. And it is going to blow people's minds because it's an unnecessary risk. More people are getting hurt. I can't tell you how many times when I watch Raw do I see where I know guys' bodies are out of control, and that they're hoping that their opponent catches them the right way and they don't get hurt. And again, bro, a lot of that they're bringing upon themselves because this is kind of what the sport is turning into.
Oh, I got something here, just because I know we got a lot of CM Punk fans that watch our show. So he's, for those that don't know, besides UFC, CM Punk has gotten into comic book writing. He's now a writer for Marvel, and he's got a new issue out, Drax #1. So anybody that likes to support CM Punk, I read it already. It's a pretty good issue. Drax is from Guardians of the Galaxy, the character that Batista plays in the movies, for those that don't know. So, congrats to him, man. That's cool that, the avenues this guy has to go do other things like that.
That's interesting, bro. I would have loved, it's interesting that he's writing a comic book for an existing character. It would have been cool to see what Punk could have came up with. If they would have can you imagine? That's what Marvel, you said? Yeah, right.
Marvel, yeah.
Can you imagine if Marvel would have let Punk create his own character? I mean, that would have been really, really interesting because it's got to be difficult for him now because, writing for a character that already exists is not that easy.
And they had he's a co-writer. Another guy wrote it with him too. So I wonder if it's for reasons like that too.
Yeah, absolutely. But I would love to see what the guy could have created on his own. That would have been interesting. And bro, who knows if this is successful? Maybe that's the next step for him.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's comic book companies like Image where it's creator-owned material, and normally a lot of guys like Jason Aaron, who you had on the show, that's where The Walking Dead came from. They do their own properties. They own the creative rights, and it comes out for Image. So, like you said, if Punk gets good sales numbers with Marvel, I'm sure that if he wanted to do something like that with Image, he'd be able to.
Yeah. Bro, do you watch Comic Book Men on AMC?
I do. I love that show, but I have not seen. I got all 5 of this year on the DVR.
Bro,
I haven't watched it.
What are you watching that you're so behind on everything? Why is it that I'm up to date on all this stuff and everything you're 3, 4, 5 episodes behind?
How many shows do you think you watch? Weekly shows that are on right now. That are in season, correct.
6?
Okay, I watched 17.
All right.
So, most of them are hour shows, or a few are a half hour. So you think I'm probably got about 14 hours of TV a week to watch. And that's a lot. That's dedication, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, I'm behind on a lot of stuff. I do waste a lot of time on the phone, just Twitter,
yeah,
whatever. You know what I mean? I'm sure if I put this down, hit it, I'd get more TV watch. But yeah, man, like I'm on 17 shows right now, so yeah, I get behind.
Bro, those guys on Comic Book Man, which I do watch every week, and the reason why I brought it up was because somebody brought in an issue of the first issue of The Walking Dead that is worth a truckload of money, right now. Issue number 1, like maybe 2003. The comic.
Dude, I held it in my hand the day it came out. I didn't buy it.
Oh, bro, it was like $6,000 or something. But bro, now that we're talking about Comic Book Man, and now that I know you watched Comic Book Man, you'd have to think. Kevin Smith, it's his show and everything. These are his buddies. They work at the stash. He covers their salary. Plus, they get money on top of that. Bro, at what point does Walt get his teeth fixed? Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, bro, not for anything. It's like, bro, you're on television. I mean, not for anything. You're obviously making some kind of decent money. Can we put getting your teeth fixed on the top of that list, bro? I mean, it's bad enough that these are the geekiest guys, bro, on the face of the planet. Like, my wife cannot sit there and watch these guys. They're like so over the top geeky. But I mean, bro, when he's got, the snaggletooth going on, and it's like, bro, listen, you're on TV every week. Get a loan from Kevin Smith. Do whatever you got to do, bro. Why do we have to look at this every week?
He also, Kevin Smith wrote a Batman miniseries. One of his Batman miniseries for DC. Walt was the artist on. Did you see the episode where these guys actually published a comic book with Dynamite?
Yes, I did.
So yeah, I mean, he's got to have money coming in. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, who knows? But it's funny, I love that show because like it's so me and my buddy Mark, who's one of my good friends from Indiana. Me and him used to hang out every single day, go to the comic book store, watch comic book movies. I mean, it's us. The conversations they have is me and my buddy Mark. That's why.
Bro,
I love
what's the older guy's name?
Which one? There's Mike. There's Brian. Brian's the one with the beard.
Brian, bro, that guy is freaking brilliant. I mean, listen to that guy talk and listen to how quick and witty he is. Bro, I get that. That's what's amazing to me. This guy probably has an IQ off the freaking charts. Who knows what this guy could be doing? And he's hanging out. He's hanging out with his buddies at the comic book shop. It's unbelievable, bro.
Yeah, the best part is he doesn't even work there.
From what I understand, Jeff, maybe you know more about this than me, but from what I understand, he was the owner of the store, and Kevin Smith bought that store from him. And I guess, with the money he got for the store, like now he doesn't need to work. So he's just hanging around the store.
No, I didn't know that. Like, I know him and Kevin Smith have been buddies since they were kids or whatever, all them guys. I don't know if have you seen the Kevin Smith movies? Those guys make cameos in them. You know what I mean? They were in all the movies. But yeah, like he's got such a dry sense of humor. Like you said, he's so quick-witted. Like, I'm sitting there laughing, especially when he's making these comments to the customers and they don't understand what the hell he's talking about, and they're no-selling it, and I'm laughing. And like the guy, you're right, man. The guy is smart. Yeah. He was the writer for that comic book they did too.
Yeah, I believe it. But that Walt, bro, do something with your choppers, man. I mean, you're on TV, bro. I mean, not for anything. Like, come on, man.
I get a kick out of that guy. I think his name is Rob, the guy, the expert they bring in. Like the guy. How does this guy know all this stuff? Like, it's absolutely ridiculous the amount of knowledge this guy has on, like, just that he can look at a toy or he can look at a comic art, like real art, like not the actual book, but like the actual drawn pages, know what era they were from, if it's legit or not, what it's worth. I mean, man,
it's the same thing, bro. The same thing with Pawn Stars. I mean, I watched that show, and I was watching like a series of them last night, and bro, obviously that guy Rick, like it's all set up. They know what the people are bringing in, so Rick's got to do his research on everything that they're bringing in. But I mean, the fact of the matter is, bro, the guy still has to know a little bit of something about everything. I mean, in order to listen, he was running the pawn shop before there was a television show. So, like, you got to know a little bit of something about everything, and that's Yeah, I mean, bro, that really is amazing to me. That the knowledge they have of just some of these things just blows me away.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go to that store, like to see what it's like on a normal day. If those guys actually still work there during the day,
Yeah, they don't.
Like,
They don't.
yeah, I know they used to.
Yeah.
Because I called. I mean, this was like 2002, 2001 or something. Like I was watching Dogma, the commentary section, and they gave out the phone number for the secret stash, like on there, like if you need any comic books. And I don't remember what comic book it was, but I couldn't find a comic. So I'm like, what the hell? I'll call them and see if they have it. Walt answered the phone. Like the dude was working there. I'm like, and like, I you know who he was? You could tell his voice. Like if you've seen any Kevin Smith movies. So I thought that was strange at that time. The dude that he was running the comic book shop at that time.
I wouldn't doubt that those guys are still at that shop, but I know the porn star guys, they only go into film.
Oh, okay. See, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I would not doubt those guys because, what else is Walt going to do? I mean, let's face it, bro. I mean, so I would not doubt that those guys are there, you know?
Yeah, it's a good show, man. Did you see this thing with Shia LaBeouf?
Mm-mm.
You know who he is, right?
Yeah.
He just did a internet broadcast, a 3-day marathon of himself in a movie theater watching all of his movies.
Yeah.
And the camera was right on him. It was 20, like nonstop, start to finish. He filmed himself. People could watch him watching his own movies.
Yeah, so I saw a celebrity comment on that. They made a Twitter comment about it or something, but so now I get it. Yeah.
I mean, this guy's he's been, if you've paid attention to TMZ, the guy's, something's not all there with the guy. He does these goofy things. He's getting arrested all the time for being weird in public. I don't know. People had I wish I knew it at the time. I would have tuned in just to see to watch it, but they got clips of it, like he's dozing off one time, then they show him eating, he's laughing. So I wish I would have seen it, but the GIFs are out there, if anybody wants to see it.
But was he just watching it, or was he commenting on it while he was watching it?
It didn't say that he commented. The impression I got was he was just watching it. And there was other people in the theater with him too. Anybody could go if they wanted to. They could go sit in the theater and watch these movies with him.
That's insane.
Yeah, one clip you see him looking to somebody and they're taking a picture of him. It was very weird. I don't know. Interesting though, I thought.
That's very interesting. Bro, what about this? Please tell me you watched Nathan after we did our stuff last night.
I did.
Bro, was that just the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen in your life?
I don't listen. When you're sitting down to plan out this episode, I wonder, how far do they get into it? Is he filming? He has this idea we're going to do this smoking thing at the bar. And then does the play thing just happen organically out of nowhere and they turn that into the whole episode? I would be so interested to see how the creative process, because there's no way you could plan that. You would think anyway that you're going to do this whole play thing. I don't know, man, but I just
Bro, you know what cracks me up? It's how many times, bro, to this day do I hear, Vince Russo needed an editor. He needed somebody to reel him in. Let people reel Nathan in. Oh, you kid, bro. See, bro, that's the difference with a guy like Nathan. He starts here. You know what I'm saying, bro? He starts okay, we're going to start with something that's never been done before. That's so insane. While I'm pitching it, you're going to think it's not even possible. It is so outside of the box. I don't even know if we can pull this off, but that's where you're going to start. Can you imagine people sitting there saying, no, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. No, Nathan, you can't do that. That's not going to. Then you wouldn't have this masterpiece of a show, bro. It's. I don't know how he comes up with these concepts. I mean, I would never in my wildest dreams think of this stuff, bro.
I don't know, man. I got a kick out of him replacing the owner of the bar. Dude, that was so funny. But you know what really surprised me about this episode, and for those that haven't seen it, I'll try not to spoil it, but he got this bar to get around the no smoking laws and found a loophole where the customers could smoke inside the bar. I was surprised that like no like county person showed up, you know what I mean, just to investigate, because they would have put that on the show if it happened, you know what I mean? Like it just went off without a hitch, like nobody said anything. I was very surprised about that.
Bro, what
about the best? Those two ladies putting it over like it was a work of art.
Bro, the best with me was I could have literally sat there all day with him telling that girl, say it again. Say it again. I could have watched, bro. I would have watched that for 30 minutes. I literally would have watched that for 30 minutes, bro.
And I love how he's blaming it on the other guy. What do you think about that? Like, what did you just learn right there? Like, I mean, I don't know how he keeps a straight face, man. Like, I really don't.
Jeff, you know what the
skateboard thing,
bro?
The big action scene with the 3-person selfie, like that happened organically. Like they couldn't have planned that, but he took that ridiculous thing and made it into.
Bro, you know what the sad thing is? I swear to God, Jeff, there's such a small group of people that really get that and appreciate it. Like, bro, I swear to God, if you showed that to, all the guys that lead, the internet wrestling community, if you showed that to all of them, they would say the show stinks. They would not get it. It would totally go over their heads. They would not appreciate the thought process of this guy and to go out and pull it off in a believable way. And, bro, let me tell you something. Like, bro, listen, there are so many shows, bro. Like, when it's all worked out and the people are acting like there's what's that one, bro? There's the one where they go into restaurants and they got hidden cameras all over the place, and then the guy's back in the room, who's stealing money, who's taking off the top, this, that, and the other thing. It's totally staged. It's so. Bro, the expressions of the business owners, there's no way, bro. They would not. Al Pacino wouldn't be able to play the part better. It's real. There's no question about it, because the responses are freaking unbelievable, bro.
I mean, there's proof that it's real. Go read all the news articles about the LA health officials shutting down his Starbucks, the dumb Starbucks. I mean, it's real. And like, I don't know if he writes these lines in his head ahead of time or if he's winging these things, but either way, like when he's telling the girl that smokers need to be treated better than most people because they're going to die they're going to die sooner. Straight face. Like, the guy's phenomenal, man. Absolutely phenomenal. Oh, man. Nathan, for you, and Vince, thank you for putting me on the show, because I know it's been on for 3 years. I had never heard of it until you brought it up. So I give the brand the approval also. Check out the show, man. Frickin'
bro, how lucky were we, Jeff, and millions and millions and millions and millions of people that NBC let Seinfeld go when the first couple of years people weren't getting it. It literally was a show about nothing, and they never saw a show about nothing, and the ratings sucked. They were freaking horrible. But thank God the executives at NBC, knew, bro, obviously it helped because Seinfeld's name was attached to it. But thank God that they knew, you know what? This is the type of show, bro, Arrested Development falls in that same category where, the network executives knew it's going to be word of mouth. It's going to be water cooler talk. And this is going to, can you imagine, bro, if Seinfeld was canceled after the first season?
That's happening right now with the Goldbergs, which is a comedy on ABC. The first season, the ratings weren't that great, and ABC, I guess, contemplated not bringing it back. Well, now it's one of their highest rated shows. And you wonder, like, so many networks have the quick hook these days. How many of these shows would have turned into, like, phenomenal, like, hits if they would have been given more time? Imagine if that what would the entire TV landscape look like if Seinfeld was canceled? They made Fox canceled Family Guy, but then brought it back. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know. There's such a quick hook these days. Like they expect immediate success, and if not, that's why I think one reason why network television are losing a lot of ratings and their viewers is because the viewers don't have faith that they're going to invest time in a new show and it's going to be there next year. You know what I mean? I feel like they feel like they're wasting their time.
God, bro, I would love to see a ratings chart of The Simpsons over the years. I would love to see, because we're looking at 20 years now with The Simpsons.
The special was in '89, so I don't know if the Christmas or whatever the first thing was in '89. So what's that? 11, 15, 26 years?
Yeah, and I know like South Park is like 19, or something ridiculous. I would love to see the ratings of those shows over that time. I would love to see how they measure up to WWE over the last 15 years, because I can't believe for a second, bro, if a South Park or a Simpsons showed a 15-year consistent decline, I can't believe for 1 second they would still be on the air. I would love to see the numbers of those shows over the air. I'm going to do some research. Bro, they got to be online someplace. I would love to know what they are.
I'm sure they are, yeah. Like there's a site that I go to that has current TV ratings, like for the current seasons. So I'm sure there's some that has all the historical ones out there.
Yeah, I that would be interesting to just look at.
What do you want to talk about the Starbucks cups? I've been getting tweets about it. People want to know our thoughts on this deal.
Let's talk about it.
Well, for those that don't know, Starbucks decided not to put any like holiday, Christmas themed like logos or anything that makes you think of Christmas or the holiday season on their cup this year. I guess they normally did it in the past. Well, this year it's just all red, so it's caused a controversy. I don't know how I feel about. I mean, it's Starbucks. They can do whatever the heck they want with their cups. This is my take on the situation, and I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with me, but I feel like it's become publicly acceptable to offend Christians. Like that's okay, because like there are people that get up every single day. What's gonna piss me off today? What offends me today? You know what I mean? Every single day. And those are the same people that are telling the Christians that they're being ridiculous for being offended by this. You know what I mean? It's the same people. They're offended about everything every day, but now the Christians are offended and they shouldn't be offended. Get over it. It's not that big a deal. There's more to life than this. So that's my problem with it. I feel like it's hypocritical. And I feel like it's okay to like discriminate against Christians. I don't know if this is discrimination. Obviously they can do whatever they want, but while something on a cup isn't a big deal, I try to put myself in the mind of these people that are getting offended. Every single year, Christmas is being removed. Employees, like when I worked at a restaurant, I had to teach my employees that they cannot say Merry Christmas to the customers. They had to say Happy Holidays. So it's like this big deal, I think, where it's just another like boom to people that love Christmas. Like they're being told that Christmas is not acceptable. Your kids can't even say it in school or whatever, blah, 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 blah. And I just feel like, it's just another thing. Like they just feel like it's getting ridiculous.
Well, yeah, bro, Jeff, it always goes back to, and we've had this conversation a couple of times, it just goes back to the political correctness of everything. Everything's got to be politically correct. Bro, I hate when I do these shows and I know that I'm not being politically correct. I'm going to have to hear it. I'm so sick and freaking tired of that. There was, there's freedom of speech, like for a reason, where like if you're an American citizen, we're supposed to have the freedom to go out and say and go out and do exactly how we feel and what we think, of course, staying within the law. But it's like, it's everything. Like, bro, it's like, this thing started, bro. It started because now Christians are offended, but it started because Jews were offended that people were saying Merry. That's how it started. So the Jews were offended. So now we're going to be politically correct with the Jews. We're going to take everything off the cup. We're not going to say Merry Christmas anymore. So guess what? Now the Christians are offended. It's freaking ridiculous, bro. Listen, I don't care that Jewish people celebrate Hanukkah and celebrate Rosh Hashanah. Bro, if I went to Starbucks and they gave me a Happy Hanukkah coffee cup, I could care less. Do that, bro. Give a Hanukkah cup out while it's Hanukkah. I could freaking care less. But everybody gets pissed off about something. And bro, and what happens is now you're more and more and more and more limited as to what you can say. If anybody understands that, it's us, bro. We sit here show after show after show, freaking speak our mind, say how we really feel, and we got to hear it from idiots every single day because we're expressing our rights of freedom of speech to say what we feel and to say what we think. And that's the thing. It's like, yeah, bro, okay, Christians are offended now. Well, it was done because Jews were offended. So what that tells you, Jeff, is at the end of the day, nobody's going to be happy. You're not going to make anybody be happy. But if we lived in a world where you had the freedom to have an opinion and say what you feel, and people took it as your opinion, okay, that's his opinion. I mean, Jeff, let's face it, every single one of us are going to have a different opinion. And that tells you right there, you're never going to please anybody. So at the end of the day, say what you want to say, do what you want to do, feel what you want to feel. If people don't accept that as your opinion, then screw them. But when we start changing the laws, bro, it just gets to a point of being freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, and I don't think it's the cup. Like, I really don't give a crap what my cup looks like. But, like, Starbucks' official response was, well, we don't want to offend anybody. But you're offending the Christians by doing it. And that's where I think it's become publicly acceptable. We can't offend anybody, but if it's the Christians, that's okay. That's what's out there today. I don't know. Do you see the same thing, or am I just, like, overreacting on that stuff?
What, as far as what? Say that again, Jeff?
That it's publicly acceptable to offend the Christians.
Bro, I think I don't get that feeling, bro. Like I just don't, because I think like I think we offend everybody. Somebody's going to get offended. You're not going to please everybody. So, bro, here's what I want to know. Honestly, this is what I want to know. By taking Merry Christmas off of the cup, are Jews happy? Like, are they happy? Like, if we went and interviewed, hey, how do you guys feel about Merry Christmas not being on stuff? Like, would they really be celebrating that? Like, do you have such little to do in your life that you feel you want to fight because Merry Christmas isn't on a coffee cup anymore? Like I said, bro, throw Happy Hanukkah on there. I don't freaking care. It doesn't make any difference to me. But it's just, I'm just so tired, bro, of everything. Just you got to watch everything you say and everything you do, and oh my God, bro.
But that's it. Like I'm just sick of the hypocrisy, because like I see it every day in the media. I see it on social media. I see it on my Facebook. I see it on my Twitter. There's the people that like every day you can't bully anybody. You can't offend anybody. You can't make jokes about people. God forbid you say anything negative about Caitlyn Jenner. These are the same people telling Christians to shut up about this. That's the issue I have. And I know it's not everybody. I'm generalizing here, stereotyping, whatever you want to call it. But I feel like the same group of people that's always offended are now getting on the Christians for being offended about the cup. That's what bothers me, man. It's just like, it's hypocrisy.
And bro, you know what the funny thing is? I think like people that really this really affects, bro. And like I would not want to be a stand-up comic, bro. I would not. What can a stand-up comic say that isn't offensive to somebody? And bro, here's the thing. Here's the bottom line. Bro, you would think the number one culprit is Don Rickles. And Don Rickles, who's almost 90 years old now, will basically tell you, I'm not going to change my act. That is my act. That's been my act for 70 freaking years. I'm not going to change my act. And you know what? He'll go out there. He'll tell the same jokes about all the, the Jews and the Italians and the Puerto Rican. He'll tell those same jokes. And you know what, bro? He's beloved. He's beloved because I guess he's under the umbrella. But the fact of the matter is that's the problem, bro. When somebody has an issue and when somebody speaks up and all of a sudden it's, okay, this is how you're politically correct now. You can't say this anymore. The problem is people start falling under that banner. You know, they start falling under the banner of being politically correct because they feel they have to. And that's the thing, bro. When everybody starts acting that way, then all of a sudden, you know, Amy Schumer makes a comment in her stand-up act, and everybody, you know, wants to hang her from the rafters. I don't know how freaking comedians do it anymore, bro, because that's their freaking that's their job. I made a comment the other day, okay, of with this Tyler Breeze. I said my arms are bigger than his, and I even have the granny flap going on. It was a 1,000% freaking joke. I don't know Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze has no effect on my life whatsoever. If he was a wrestler or a butcher or sold jewelry, I could care less. It was a joke. And people just like jumped all over that, bro. But it's like, what has happened to people that everybody is so freaking damn uptight, bro? It's like you said, Jeff, they're just waiting to pounce. They're waiting for that one thing to pounce. I remember a couple of years ago, and it was the big issue when somebody asked me about Mexican wrestlers. And I basically said, well, when you wear a mask, it's and you don't speak the English language, it's going to be very difficult to get over with American fans. First of all, you don't understand what they're saying, so there's a communication gap. Second of all, they're wearing a mask, so you can't see facials. So in wrestling, if you're eliminating language and you're eliminating facial expression, it's going to be difficult to get over. They turn that into Vince Russo's a racist. And that's what I mean. But, bro, you do have people just sitting there waiting to pounce. But the problem is, because of that, everybody feels like they have to fall in line. That's the one thing I do like about Donald Trump, bro. Donald Trump doesn't care. Whether I win the political race or I don't win the political race, I'm going to say what I think. I'm going to say what I want to say. Either you're going to like it or you're not going to like it. But either way, I'm not going to fall in line and become a politician so I can win this race. I'm going to go out there and be me.
You know, that was funny because I was having a talk with Big Guy about Trump. You know, like, I'm not that big into politics. You know what I mean? I don't watch the debates. But, like, I've paid attention a little bit this year, and I've seen all the Republicans, and I've seen all the Democrats, and all of them on both sides are just phonies. Democrats are phonies. The Republicans are phonies. They're just trying to do an act and be cool and, like, hip. You know what I mean? And what do the people want me to say? And I said to Big Guy, I said, you know what, whether you agree with this guy or not, I feel like Trump is the only one out of all these people that is speaking what he actually believes, and he's telling the truth. You know what I mean? Like, he's not out there acting or saying what he thinks is going to get him a vote. I think he's the only one that's actually believes what he is saying. And I think if all the candidates did that, maybe we wouldn't frown upon, you know, politics that much. You vote for who you agree with. But I feel like all of them on both sides are just phony, man. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Oh, cow.
You talk about being politically correct, bro. Forget about it. There's your perfect example.
But yeah, I mean, like you said with the Mexican wrestlers, Trump talks about illegal immigrants, which is against the law. But now he's a racist because he wants illegal immigrants gone. You know what I mean? That's just the step they take. I don't know, man. You're right. It's a politically correct world. I like but you watch a show like Family Guy or South Park, and they make fun of everybody, man. You know what I mean? So there are still some shows out there that do it. Like I watched South Park from this week. They made fun of white people. They made fun of black people. They made fun of Hispanic people, women, men, parents, cops. I mean, if you exist, they make fun of you. But you got to have humor in that stuff, man. I don't sit there and, you know, they make a joke about white people, and I'm sitting there offended by it. And you know what I mean? Like, I feel like comics can only make fun of themselves. A black comic can make fun of black people. A white comic can make fun of white people. A woman comic can make fun of women. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the only material they have these days.
Yeah. And bro, that's the thing too. You can go back to like the early 70s and you could go back to a show like, which was really groundbreaking and still is, because of the way society is today, like All in the Family. And how the way All in the Family was done was that, Archie Bunker, the character, was such a racist. But the way they portrayed the character, they made you see how ignorant it was to be a racist. That was the point of it. The guy was so ignorant and so oblivious that when you're watching the show, you kind of saw, man, it's really stupid to not like a certain race of people. I mean, that's how they did it. More of that should be done today to make people look how stupid they're being by acting a certain way. Compared to, okay, we got to watch every single word we say because somebody's going to get hot.
South Park does the same thing. There's so many people that think South Park is a racist show, but if you watch it, they're actually making fun of racist people. Right. You know what I mean? They just show how ridiculous it is. And a lot of people don't understand that. You know what I mean? It's very, like, I feel like it's a very progressive show because you sit there and you laugh at the stuff. Like, it doesn't matter what race they're making fun of. It's funny. But at the same time, you're like, it's actually ridiculous that people believe this. And right. That's what they get across in the show.
Yeah.
It's crazy, though, that you look at society, okay? I mean, this is getting way off tangent. It's absolutely stupid to say, but it's just to a point where because somebody's a different color, you automatically don't like them. How ridiculous is that? And it's like the same way in politics now. Republicans hate Democrats. Democrats hate Republicans. Why can't you just say, okay, you like what you like, I like what I like. Doesn't affect me personally. Right. Same thing. Man, the world's messed up.
It is, bro. It is.
World's messed up.
It's a headache, bro. It's a headache.
Let's talk about something else because now I'm getting.
What do you got for me, Jeff?
Well, I was gonna go to non-depressing topic, but I don't know. This may be depressing. Like I've noticed recently, like I don't like the sun. Like bright sun. I like gloomy days. I like overcast skies.
Yeah.
I like nighttime. I like nighttime with a lot of lights. I like that. But like really bright sunny days bother me. I see myself closing my curtains, closing the blinds. But like if it's nice and overcast out, I'm like, yeah, this is a good day. Is there something wrong with me, man?
I'm the same way, bro. And I hear it from my wife all the time. Like, bro, like she leaves for work at 7:00 in the morning. Okay, bro. I don't open the blinds. I don't want the blinds open. I want to be here in my dungeon by myself. I don't want to be bothered. So she comes home and I got to hear it. And that's the first thing she does, bro. And, she gets home at, 3:00. And the first thing she does is open every blind in the house. I'm the same exact way. Bro, you know what it is? I got to be honest with you. And, Jeff, you're going to get worse. You're going to get worse, bro. The older I get, I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be bothered by anybody. I don't want to go outside and have a neighbor say hello to me. Bro, I don't know who my neighbors are. I don't talk to my neighbors. Let's keep it that way. I don't have any friends. I don't want any friends. Let's keep it that way. I want the things that I need, and I want to black out like everybody else. Jeff, it leads me to I'm leaving for this convention in New York City today where every wrestler and their mother's going to be there. Every fan and their mother is going to be there. You have no idea how much I dread this, Jeff. I want to be in my house. Just leave me alone. That's all I want. That's all I ask for. To have to go out and meet people and, bro, the wrestling questions they're going to and like I don't care. I don't want to be here. Like I just leave me alone. But I'm the same way like you, bro. It's like, you would get nice weather there, the end of October, the beginning of November, and so was I. And I'm like, where's the gloom and doom? Where's the clouds? Where's the rain? I don't want this anymore. I want darkness, bro. That's what I want.
Yeah, I feel like I need to live in Seattle or London. Like, aren't those cities like always cloudy and overcast? I feel like I would probably fit in well in one of those cities.
Yes. Why
What
is that, bro? Why are we that way? Like, why do we just like not want to be bought? Why? My wife, bro, I hear 7 times a day, you're in your own little world. Yeah, I am. Okay, so what? I want to be in my own little world. I choose to be in my own little world. My own little world makes me happy. Why can't I be in my own little world?
Yeah, I don't know, man, but I've noticed that recently, and I don't think I've always been that way.
Well, you both, trust me, you get much, much worse. You're just scratching the surface, bro.
Oh, what else you got?
I got nothing, bro. That's all I got. So take it away, whatever you got.
Well, I got 2 things left. Just real quick on, I don't know. Are you a fan of the Terminator franchise, the Terminator movies? No. Well, I just I got the new one on Blu-ray, and I thought it was a good movie, so I didn't know if you were into that. Have you seen them?
I probably saw the first 3, maybe. How many has there been?
This was number 5.
Yeah, nah, bro. I definitely saw the first 2. I might have saw the first 3.
Yeah, well, this one, it's like they went back to the first movie. It's kind of like a Back to the Future type moment, and they redid the scenes from the first movie with the new actors, and they did them exactly the same as the first movie. But then something happens differently, which changes the course of history. So I just thought that was really neat. It was a good way to keep the franchise relevant. They explain why Arnold's so old now. You know what I mean? Like, I just thought it was really cool. So I recommend it for Terminator fans.
Was Arnold in all of them, bro?
He was not in the 4th one. They used a CGI face of him to look like he did in the 1984 movie for that model of the Terminator. Okay. But he was in 4 out of the 5.
Okay.
And then I don't want to get too far into this because I don't want to jinx myself. Okay. But there's been a update with this situation with this girl I've been talking about since last week. If you watched the show last week, I mentioned how I went on and said she was in a relationship, and I was just like, okay, whatever. Well, she started talking to me yesterday, and we had a nice conversation. And finally, so I'm just like, I thought you were in a relationship, and she didn't know what I was talking about. So I told her I was creeping on her profile, and it says in a relationship, and she's like, oh, that's old. I just never changed it. So she's not in a relationship. We texted back and forth a bunch yesterday. Supposed to be going out on a date. Okay. And she's probably like, she's been watching these shows, so she's probably watching this, and now I'm probably just sticking my foot in my mouth by talking about this. I'll try. Hopefully she doesn't see this episode, but I need your opinion on this, Vince, because when you hang out with a girl the first time, you want the best impression, and I get nervous, you know what I mean, because I'm always afraid I'm not going to know what to say, or I may not dress. You know what I mean? I just figure I'm always nervous that something is just going to stick out like a sore thumb. So this is my conundrum for you to help me figure out. And I really hope she doesn't watch this episode. If she asks, I'll just say I didn't do any shows this week. But I don't know whether I should wear the hat or not. And this is why. Front ways, I can make my hair look good in the front, okay? I got this freaking bald spot back here, man, and it is so noticeable, and it's getting bigger by the day. And if I go out with her for the first time with this golf ball hole of hair missing on my head, I just feel like it's going to just show my age off, and it just might be a turn off. But then again, I don't want to look ridiculous going out, dressed nice but wearing a hat.
All right, listen, I hate to do this to you, bro. You got to do the reveal. You want me to help you, I have to see what I'm dealing with. How can I make a call here and be honest with you if you're not showing me what I'm dealing with?
I haven't showered today, so the hair is kind of...
I don't want to see your nutsack. I want to see your hair, bro.
I don't know if...
Turn around, bro.
See that? Can you see it? I can't see my screen.
Yeah, bro. But see that? Okay, do that again. Put your head down and say something so I could see it.
Can you see it? Pretty big bald spot.
Lift your head up a little bit. All right, now talk.
Okay, you see it? If I had any chance of getting chicks, they're going out the window right now. I'll tell you that right now.
Bro, listen. First of all, I'll give you a couple tricks, okay? There's a couple things here. First of all, it's like, bro, you see this thing I got on my neck?
Yeah, a mole? Looks like a mole.
A mole. I've had that forever.
I got moles everywhere, man.
And I'm so self-conscious of this. It drives me crazy. At the end of the day, it's no big deal. So that little spot on your head, you've made look like a crater. You think you're George Costanza. That's what you've convinced yourself of. Now, showing me it's not that bad. I could tell you this, bro. You're combing your hair the wrong way to reveal it more. You can cover it up more than you're covering it up. You're used to the same hairstyle. The hairstyle you have is showing it more, bro. You can cover it up more. Bro, here's the first thing I would do if I were you. I would go to, like a salon. Seriously, bro, a woman. I would go to a woman, not a barber shop, not Supercuts, and basically say to her, listen, here's what I'm dealing with. What's the best thing I could do with this? What's the best hairstyle? How should I comb my? That's the first thing I would do, number one. But like I tell you, bro, you're being very self-conscious of it. It's not as bad as you think. I'm being honest with you. Number two, bro, you got okay. Here's what you got to look at, bro. What if you wind up hopping in the sack with this broad? You're gonna have your Yankee hat on, bro. Sooner or later, you're not gonna have the hat on. I mean, what, bro? You're gonna be banging this broad with a backwards Yankee hat? I mean, she's not gonna be suspicious of that. And I mean, bro, and here's the real test, Jeff. If a girl really, really wants to be with you and really loves Jeff Lane for Jeff Lane, you think that's gonna matter? That's gonna matter to a girl that is very materialistic, and you don't want a girl like that anyway, bro.
No, I don't think she's like that at all. But that's the thing. You want them to know you before they make judgments. Like it's like whatever comes first. Like if you like somebody and then you notice all the imperfections, which everybody has, you accept it. But a lot of people will prejudge on an imperfection because they don't know the person yet.
Well, bro, you just said it right there. If a person is going to prejudge on an imperfection, you don't want that person. Because nobody's perfect, bro. Every one of us are going to have our flaws. Nobody's perfect. Okay, that person's looking for Justin Bieber. Okay, and bro, listen, no offense, Justin Bieber, you're not, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're a 38-year-old Jeff Lane.
37, man. Well, listen, I'm going to have to. Yes, we got to stop with this. We got to stop with this.
Okay,
twice.
You got to lose the hat. You have to go to a salon and talk to the woman and say, listen, here's what I'm dealing with. I'm self-conscious of this. What would you do? What kind of a hairstyle can you give me? But I did that. Okay. Where I get my hair cut, it's not a chain.
It's a one, it's a business. It's a one local deal. And this girl that does my hair, she gave me this like powder. Like it's supposed to thicken your hair, but like every time I've tried it and like it looks like I got dandruff. Like I don't know what I'm doing. You see the powder everywhere, but when she does it, it's not there. So I don't know. But like as far as combing it, like I don't want to be the comb over guy either because that's noticeable. And I don't want or like I don't really there's not much there to even comb. Like it's so short back there. Like I don't think I could even cover it up if I wanted to.
If you just take some gel, rub the gel in both hands, bring it to your head, and kind of spike it up. You got it flat down. Spike it up a little bit. No. Yeah,
I normally do.
Okay.
Trust me, this is not a hairdo. This is I got out of bed, threw my hat on, and came and did the show. But yeah, if I do that.
You're being two things. Number one, you're being too self-conscious. Number two, if that's what the girl's going to concern herself with, you don't want to have anything to do with her anyway. Bro, there was a little red flag, though, in something you said to me, and I want to ask you about this. You had said that she asked you to send her all the shows.
Yeah. I don't want it to.
Like, what? I don't understand. What is she looking for?
She wanted to watch me, I guess.
So did she watch the shows?
Yeah, she wanted like where can I find you on YouTube? Like she wanted to watch the shows and stuff.
Did she comment on them?
No, not to me yet. I don't know if which one she's watched or which one she hasn't watched, but yeah.
Bro, don't let her watch the show where you're wearing the Bills gloves and the whole. Well, bro, listen.
That just went up yesterday, or well, I mean today for us, but yesterday for people watching this.
Bro, I'm still so popped with the gloves. It's unbelievable. All right, so bro, all right, so how'd you leave? Where is it right now with this?
Oh, we texted for a few hours yesterday. Really good conversation. Some personal things. I don't want to talk too much about it. Yeah, listen, I feel like I'm sticking my foot in my mouth and I'm jinxing myself and actually going to come on here and say, yeah, it never happened.
No, well, I'm saying that what I'm getting at is the date part of it. How did that get left?
Like she's going, like when she's got a free day, she's got to see what her schedule is coming up. We're going out. Like it's pretty much, I'm taking it as where she 100% wants to go out.
So what does she do? Do you know?
Like for a job?
Yeah, does she work full time? Does she go to school? What does she do?
Well, she's gonna go. She's starting school. I think she said next week or the week after, like in a nursing assistant program. The job she is doing now is like assisting people. Like I don't know exactly what, but she was telling me about like she would go to this person's house, and take care of them and stuff.
I got you. Okay, bro, you got to lose the hat. I don't even think it's debatable. I don't even think there's a question because I mean, come on, bro.
Well, also, it's on this side of my head, so if she's sitting in the passenger seat, it's gonna be staring her right in the eye the whole time.
Bro, if you're sitting there eye level with the chick, how is she gonna be seeing the top of your head?
It's not really. It's like on the corner. Like
yeah, but
I'm talking in the car.
To her like this?
No, I'm talking when I'm driving.
I mean, is this how you're going to talk to her, bro?
No, I'm talking when I'm driving. She's sitting. If she's looking at me while I'm driving,
she's looking at you, bro. You're at eye level. How is she going to look at the top of your head? She's going to do this?
I'm pretty sure she's taller than me.
Nah, bro, you're blowing this whole thing way out of proportion, bro. This is all in your head and nobody else's head, bro. Bro, you want to do like Jack Lanza? You want to buy the black spray paint and paint it?
No, hell no.
All right, then. Well, then you got to take it off and do the spike, make it nice.
I kind of want the Wes Welker plugs. Those things look real.
No, you don't want to do that. No, you don't want to do that, though, bro.
But, dude, like, I feel like I've outlasted. Like, I feel like my younger brother was bald in his 20s. Everybody else in my family is bald. I feel like I've outlasted everybody. I expected to be fully bald by this age, but the fact that I still got hair up here and stuff, I'm pleasantly surprised.
Well, have you ever considered shaving your head?
No, I don't. I think I would look ridiculous. I think I would look absolutely ridiculous.
Take the hat off again. Let me look at this.
You're judging on a messy hairdo. Like I haven't showered today, so. But like,
yeah, bro, I'm telling you, if you just spike that up, I think you look fine, bro.
Yeah, like I don't have it. I don't think it looks. I mean, it's thinning a little bit up here, but nothing too crazy. Where I don't think it looks fine in the front. I'm just talking about back here. And Big Guy's got the same thing, so he knows exactly what I'm going through. We both have the same spot.
Well, bro, if you're eye level with this chick and you're driving and she's on the passenger seat there, and you're eye level and she's looking at you, I don't know how she's going to be staring at the top of your head. That's a little insane, bro.
Well, because it's not really on the top, though. It's like around the corner, kind of. And I'm pretty sure she's taller than me.
Not sitting down, bro. Sitting down, you're going to be the same height.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. All right. So, like, how did she's checking the schedule? That's how we left it?
Yeah, I'm gonna text her here today, see what's going on. I saw her. I know she posted something. Her birthday's this weekend, so obviously I'm not going to try to go out with her this weekend. But she's like, well, when are you free? I'm like, whenever I need to be.
Hey,
I'm like, that's the good thing about what I do. We just do our stuff whenever we need to.
Did she comment on the show?
she asked how it was going. Like, she hasn't specifically said anything about the episode. So the only one I know 100% she watched was the 2 weeks ago of this show, excuse me. I know she watched that one. She asked me for my solo show, so I sent her a Destiny Unbound. I told her, the non-wrestling stuff that I do, because she, doesn't watch wrestling, so that wouldn't interest her. But
bro, you got to get the girl on the show. I mean, that's just
after, you want her to come out. Say we actually do go through this and go out. She can come on here and give me a date review.
That's much better.
Embarrass me in front of everybody.
Yeah, no, bro. We definitely gotta. We need that. We need her to come on after the date so we can kind of see what work needs to be done, what worked, what didn't work. I mean, we definitely need that, bro.
Yeah, I hope me talking to if she sees this stuff, if she doesn't like me talking about her on here, I would hope she would tell me. I hope actually she doesn't watch this episode.
You didn't say anything about her. What did you say about her that I didn't already know?
Well, I'm talking about our private conversation. Some things we talked about. I talked about what she does with her life. Going to school and all that stuff. It's personal stuff. Dude, you got to understand,
you're a mess, bro.
I am a mess, but it's
man. Are the blinds shut?
The blinds are shut.
Don't let anybody see you like this. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Talk to me, Jeff. Go ahead.
Like you talked about, banging with my hat on and stuff. Banging is so far from my mind. If I have a successful first date with this girl, I hope that does not happen, because anytime, from my experience, that happens the first date, that's it. You don't have the time to develop the personal connection before you do that. And I think that's a huge deal in chemical connections between people. So anytime that's happened, the relationship's been doomed, maybe that has something to say about my skill set. I don't know. But you know what I mean? That to me, I don't want that from the first date, because I'm not looking for that. That's the bonus. That's the great. It's better.
But what are you going to say if it presents itself? No. No, I'm not that kind of guy.
No, because I don't know, man. Maybe I'll say what I just said right now. I don't know if it makes me sound less manly or what, but I would hope that she would appreciate, I don't think she'd be that type of girl anyway, but I would hope that she would appreciate that I would make that decision based on wanting something to succeed and be long-term, rather than let's hurry into something that may doom it, with awkwardness or, rushing something that's not ready to happen yet. I don't know.
Bro, do me a favor. Tilt your head. Say something and tilt your head back.
Like this? Yeah, I know. I got to shave my neck.
Yeah, you gotta clean all this up down here, bro.
I know. That's why I wore this today, because I hadn't shaved.
All right. Okay.
And you're making me show it off.
Bro, you have to listen. You're being very, very, very self-conscious. You gotta be you. Listen, she's either gonna be attracted to the real you, or she's not gonna be attracted to the real you. End the story, bro.
Well, she already knows what I look like. I worked with her. You know what I mean? She actually, when I did work with her, I weighed 18 more pounds than I do now. So she, liked the chubby me, I guess. I don't know.
How long did you work with her for?
4 months, I think. 3-4 months. I don't know.
And then when you left, you just never saw her again?
No. We've had communication a few times. I've never seen her in person, no. Besides pictures on Facebook and stuff.
So, when's the last time you actually saw her?
In person?
Yeah.
Oh, a year and a half.
Wow.
She posts pictures all the time on Facebook and stuff.
Does she live close by?
20 miles away.
Wow. All right. Well, we got to see what happens, bro. You got to kind of leave the ball in her court now and see what happens. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see what happens, bro. I'm very interested in this. I got to live vicariously through you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
All right. So is that it, Jeff?
That is my list. Yes.
Bro, you know what's so funny? I'm so like old that when we're done with this, I gotta write Mark like a description of the show for him to post it. And by the time we're done and I go back to write the description, I've already forgotten what we've talked about.
That's ADD, man. I go through that daily. Dude, it's like I take ADD medication, and I take a pill in the morning, and sometimes I don't even remember if I took it. Because like I'm just walking around doing blah, 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 blah. And then I'm like, did I even take the pill? I guess that's why I take them, because stuff goes in and out like that. But yeah.
Do you think that stuff helps you?
It helps. Like it's not a cure-all by any means, but I'm able to focus better. I've noticed since I started taking it. So I don't know if that's just mental, if it's actually the medicine, but yeah, I mean, I can focus better. There's still times where, I mean, it happens on here. Like if I get surprised with a question, where all of a sudden I can't think of anything, like mine goes blank. You know what I mean? That still happens from time to time, but not nearly as much as it used to.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, that's it from us. Covered a lot of topics there. Jeff mentioned earlier in the broadcast, the part 2 interview with China will be up on Monday. You don't want to miss it. Also, when we come back next week on Tuesday and we're going to do WrestleMania 14, right? I'm sure I'll have some convention stories. Bro, last time there were a lot of people there. But this time, like all the big hitters are going to be there, which I'll be honest with you, bro. Like, I really don't want to cross paths with anybody. I'm going to hope that I could sit in my little booth there with Bill Apter and mind my own business and nobody will bother me because, I mean, from what I'm reading, this one is, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall and Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. And, there's a huge list. And that's why I'm just hoping I can kind of lay low. But I'm sure I'll have a lot to talk about on Tuesday. You got any special plans this weekend, Jeff?
Not that I know of.
No bills, right,
bills. Bro? Nope, got that out of the way already. So.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, listen, we will be back here next week. Again, thank you, everybody. I know you're watching this. You support us. You're a member of the brand. As always, thank you very much for supporting us. And China on Monday. WrestleMania 14 on Tuesday. I'm kind of looking forward to that because I don't even remember what happened. But until then, be safe. We'll catch you on the rebound.
Critically acclaimed producers Kayfabe Commentaries bring you the most candid shoot interview ever with Sabu, nephew of the legendary Sheik.
Would your aunt be talking business?
Of course.
With the Sheik?
Oh, yeah. And Carney. She can speak Carney better than me.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Prepare to explore the darkest corners of the man behind Sabu.
I would have stopped pain pills entirely if I was out of pain. Because I've been a little too long at the dance myself.
You feel now you've been too long at the dance?
Breaking Kayfabe with Terry Sabu Brunk, now available on DVD and on demand at shootinterviews.com.